Les Voyages de Pinocchio is located alongside Blanche-Neige et les Sept Nains in the Germanic part of Fantasyland, a fitting location considering that Walt Disney moved his story from author Carlo Collodi's native Tuscany to Tyrol. The Disney Imagineers endeavored to recreate the film's settings in architecture, taking care to preserve the original look. As you approach the attraction, you feel as if you are really stepping into the animation. The design of the scenic route inside the ride also makes a point of paying tribute to the aesthetics of the film, particularly in terms of color. Artistic director Paul C. Torrigino studied the 1940 masterpiece in detail. This allowed him to get as close as possible to the original hues, while taking the specificities of black light into account and giving the nearly 300 set elements a magical luminescence. As for the characters, Jiminy's small size meant that the artists had to be particularly precise in rendering his various expressions. Meanwhile, the white light, used at the beginning and end of the adventure, allowed the painters to integrate numerous additional details, again inspired by the film, such as on Pinocchio's costume in the final scene. Music plays a major role in telling the story of these adventures and immersing guests in the film's atmosphere. The iconic song Hi Diddle Dee Dee is the attraction's common thread, guiding Pinocchio like a leitmotif throughout his adventures. It is first sung by Pinocchio in the Stromboli Theater, in place of I've Got No Strings in the film, then played instrumentally on Pleasure Island, first on the barrel organ, typical of fun fairs, then as a ragtime in Tobacco Road, before giving way to a darker arrangement in the 8-ball pool hall and in the scene with the caged donkeys. The Blue Fairy theme appears alongside Stromboli's cage, evoking her magical contribution to our rescue. She reappears at the end of the ride, just after When You Wish Upon a Star, as we enter Geppetto's workshop, and she makes a surprise visit to bring Pinocchio back to life. One of the unique features of the original film was that the narrator, Jiminy Cricket, was also one of the characters in the plot. As historian J.B. Kaufman points out in his reference book on the history of Pinocchio, Walt Disney was thus echoing Sacha Guitry's film, The Story of a Cheat, released in the U.S. in September 1938. In it, the main character was able to address the audience in the middle of a scene, a feature that was also recently repeated in the series She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. In the attraction, Jiminy also speaks directly to the guests, transforming them from spectators to Pinocchio's journey companions. To get guests even more involved in the story, the Imagineers had the idea of starting this adventure in media res, literally in the midst of things, a literary and theatrical device aimed at bringing the spectator directly into the action without any prelude. In fact, as the miniature stage and the crimson curtain over the entrance to the building suggest, our journey through the theater begins with the first and only performance of Pinocchio in the Stromboli Puppet Theater. But that's not all. While Robert Zemeckis' film is a new vision of the story, notably through the addition of new elements such as the character of Sophie the Seagull. The attraction integrates several details that were imagined during the conception of the 1940 classic, but not retained in the final version. For example, the scenery in the first part of Pleasure Island, with the candy canes, gingerbread, and other sweets, comes from a previous version of the scene in the animated film. However, Walt ultimately decided to turn it into a place where all life's rules are broken, just like Tobacco Road. Another element that was removed from the film, but can be found in the attraction, is the policeman. According to J.B. Kaufman, Geppetto asked him to find his son in the pouring rain in a previous version, but the policeman remained silent and motionless, just staring at him intently. It is this policeman that we find in the attraction, in the middle of Pleasure Island, and he stares at us just like the original character without ever saying a word or lifting a finger. Now that's what I call a professional conscience.
It's closed! Why?
Geppetto! I need Cleo! We have a little Cleo in there.
It's closed, I don't know why.
Oh, Jiminy. Why is he? Oh, I guess that's just normal. I thought he had an extra finger. I saw it wrong.
You can also find the world of Pinocchio in the La Bottega di Geppetto boutique, which faithfully recreates the wood sculptor's workshop of the 1940 classic, while the restaurant Au Chalet de la Marionnette takes up the emblematic scenes from the animated film on its walls and in its decoration, to the point of immersing yourself in the stomach of Monstro the whale in the part of the establishment which opens onto Adventureland.
wagon, I go up to the castle, and I come here. Yay! I love Stromboli!
Okay. Oh. She recognized me from last video. She's in of one of my videos. Ah yeah. He's not green on the right, no. Yeah, and he's green here, yeah.
And he's green on the right.
Very strange.
Weird.
Very weird.
He's also wearing a plaid shirt.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to stay updated with more content like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thanks for your support.